Hi folks, Gary, and today I've got Geoff Franklin, one of our superior, excellent, what other magnificent words can I throw at him? Yeah. Senior WP Butlers here at WP Butler. So Andrew's having the afternoon off, so we've got Geoff on the couch with me today. So welcome folks to our WP Butler Friday Facebook Live Q&A. We're going to cover a few customer questions and some emails that we've received, and hopefully have a bit of WordPress fun. All right, Jeffrey.
Yeah, what do we got?
Adam from Castledine. That's here in Queensland. I sell products using WooCommerce and currently have to add the sales to my Xero accounting software manually. Is there a better way?
Well, there's third-party solutions that we've used before, and the one we really love is called Zapier. There's a free service, and they have premium options as well. But what we find is really great about Zapier is it's so user-friendly. I mean, by all means, go check out Zapier.com, and what you can do is they've got a bunch of what they call zaps. Now, zaps allow you to basically link like one piece of software to another piece of software. So in this instance, Adam, for what you want, what this will allow you to do is you'll actually be able to use Zapier as like this middle piece of software to link the orders from your WooCommerce store, and you'll be able to customize how that looks feeding into Xero. And it's really intuitive. It's quite a linear process setting up the Zap. But yeah, basically, yeah, it's really intuitive. I think that's just a great place to start with Zapier. And there's a few other options, but that's the one we recommend.
Yeah, check out Zapier. It does an amazing amount of little integrations between a whole pile of third-party software. So just do a quick search for Zapier, and then do a search for the two pieces of software that you want to link together, and pretty good chance that Zapier will have an already made Zap that'll allow you to join the two together.
Yeah, I was talking to Andrew earlier, and one of the things he uses Zapier for is like he might be watching a YouTube video, and he'll like, oh yeah, thumbs up that YouTube video. And what he's set up Zapier to do is it'll actually add, like on Spotify, he's linked his YouTube to his Spotify account. So when he likes a video on YouTube, it actually searches Spotify in the process, and then adds that song to a playlist in Spotify, which is really cool. So that's just another example outside of WooCommerce, but just the power of Zapier and what it can do, and there's just so many options that it has for WordPress as well. So yeah, check it out.
I've only got one question. What's Spotify?
Spotify, it's a music. Online music. I don't know how to explain it.
Is that the new Walkman?
You could say that. I mean, it's like iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud. It's like online music software. So check that out.
I'll stick to my Walkman.
Okay,
thanks, Jeffrey. Okay, Lisa from Melbourne asks, I'm setting up a new online store with another WooCommerce. Setting up an online store with WooCommerce. Do you have a favorite theme you can recommend? You got a favorite? What's Jeffrey's favorite WooCommerce theme?
WooCommerce theme. Okay, so yeah, there's a couple. Probably my favorite is called Flatsum, and you can buy. It's a premium theme, and you can grab that from Envato.com, so the Envato marketplace. It's really affordable, but it's another really intuitive theme, and it's got a front-end page builder, so you're able to drag and drop bits and pieces to where you want, and typically, and it has a really good setup process to the theme. So when you activate it, it has this lovely linear walkthrough process of like, what default settings do you want to set, and you can load up a bunch of like demo products, so you can get a sense of like how the theme plugs into your already existing content, as well as gives you a good starting point. So if you're new to the theme, it's a really great it's really great their setup process. So the other thing I really love about it is it's quite lightweight as well. And I know there's a lot of themes I've used over the years that just have all these extra features that you don't always need, and I've found after going through so many that Flatsome just seems to tick all the boxes for me personally, and it's one we like to use here at WP Butler as well. So yeah, that's I'd say my favorite thing.
I think over the years, I'd hate to think how many themes we've seen that have been hobbled, or WooCommerce has been hobbled into. So it's a bit of a godsend to actually find a theme that plays really, really nicely with WordPress. Sorry, not WordPress. Plays with WooCommerce, and it'll save you a hell of a lot of time. So yeah, what was it? Flatsome. Flatsome. There you go. Write it down. Flatsome. All right. Where are we up to? Neil. G'day, Neil. Neil from Maroochydore asks, another Queenslander, how do I add an Instagram feed to my website?
Okay. So, as you probably already know, there's tons and tons of plugins out there. So rather than trying to use Instagram's documentation and try and add it to yourself, there's a bunch of free and premium themes that you can, plugins that you can use to quite easily embed your Instagram feed into your website. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but basically what you'll need is you'll need to, either way, there is a technical piece to it. You'll need to create an API key, and a lot of the free plugins and premium plugins that you can use to do this will actually have like a link off or some kind of documentation to say, hey, log into your Instagram account, you'll need to get this key and put it into the settings of the plugin and save it, and then from there you'll be able to basically activate most of the plugins, activate it, and there'll be what's called shortcode. It's like this little piece of like text type code that you're able to embed in, say, in the widget, or right into a page, or into the footer, any place you want to place that feed into your website. What the plugin will then do is just work its magic and just spit out the feed in a certain way, and you'll be able to customize, say the images be a certain size, and yeah, like that's basically the easiest thing to do is use a plugin and follow the plugin's instructions to set up an API key. But yeah, that's how I do that.
Standard answer. There's a plugin.
There's a plugin for that.
There's a plugin for that. Okay, just to that, a word of warning though, just be aware the impact that adding those types of third-party features can have on the speed of your WordPress installation. Unfortunately, what has to happen for that feed to appear on the website is it's pulling in a live feed. So every time that feed or the Instagram has to load, it has to pull that data in from Instagram. So there is a slowdown with inside your page load speed. Just be aware there is always trade-offs. That goes for Facebook, it goes for Instagram, it goes for Twitter, it goes for pretty much any integration that you're going to be using from a third party. And if you want to check the impact that has on your speed, just simply go and use, what's that tool? Pingdom. Go to tools.pingdom.com and just run a speed test on your site, and you'll notice that there's a waterfall, which is just simply a list of all the files that need to load and the timeline as to how fast each one of those files loads in. Just go and have a look at the file to load your Instagram feed, and you'll start to see how long that file takes to load. Or that data takes to load, and you can see the impact that's going to have on your page load speeds. Now, it may not slow down the site by seconds, but it may slow down the site by some time. But if you combine that sometime with a whole pile of third-party integrations, you're going to end up slowing your site down by seconds, and that's where you start running into trouble. So just be aware that even though it may be easy, there are trade-offs, and just make sure that you're aware of what you're getting yourself into. Fair call?
Yes, thanks.
All right, so Geoff, a bit of WordPress news. What's been going on in the world of WordPress in the last week or so? Any big highlights out there for you?
I did actually notice WooCommerce are working on a new way. It's in beta at the moment. They're working on a new admin interface to better generate reports and customer reports and a better reporting system. That's one of the things I saw pop up. I didn't read too far into it, but I thought it was like really interesting that I mean, WooCommerce is at the forefront of like online, e-commerce, and for them to just continually be adding so much value to what's already there is just exciting to see. So yeah, I noticed that pop up. But yeah, it's cool.
I think one thing we don't or shouldn't lose sight of is that I think we mentioned here on a Q&A a couple of weeks back that WordPress here in Australia represents 85% of all Australian websites. So WooCommerce is, again, by far, I'm not sure the percentage, maybe we can go and do some homework and find that one out for you and report back, but with WordPress being such a dominant platform here in Australia's market, you can guarantee that WooCommerce, which is already the globe's largest e-commerce provider of software, that it's going to be pretty dominant here in Australia. So if you're not already if you're considering an e-commerce site and you haven't looked at WooCommerce yet, by all means go and check it out, because it has certainly gone on in leaps and bounds since the guys at Automatic took it on and bought it. So they're the WordPress guys. They own WordPress, by the way. So check it out. Well worth your time in looking at that. Another thing I just wanted to highlight too that we've seen this week in particular, obviously with everyone now back to work, everyone now looking at, if they haven't already, they've probably looked at working on their website, and they've come back. They've probably done an update to 5.3
now.
5.3.
503.
503,
Yeah.
sorry. And noticed that their editor's no longer working. They've gone into their theme, and the editor's no longer working. Jeffrey, you want to let everyone know what's going on there with that that dreaded editor?
So the crux of what's going on is WordPress have changed the text editor that they normally have when you go to edit a page, and you can see that the WYSIWYG, the what you see is what you get editor. They've stripped that out and they've replaced it with a new, their page builder called Gutenberg. So that is causing some issues with themes. A lot of theme developers haven't updated their themes to support that yet. So there is a fix. For now called, there's a few plugins that you can use, but if you log into your WordPress dashboard, you'll probably see a prompt somewhere coming up saying, install the classic editor. So you can go ahead and do that. And there's also another plugin we tend to use, which is called Disable Gutenberg. So those two are two good interim solutions until the theme you're using has whatever update it needs to have done to then support your website moving forward.
Perfect.
Yeah,
absolutely perfect. That's about all we've got today on today's Friday Facebook Live Lunchtime Q&A. Thank you so much, Jeffrey, for joining me on the couch today, and we might get some feedback and see if we can stay another week. What do you reckon?
Yeah, come on.
Come on, fans. Thumbs up for Geoff. Save Jeffrey. We'll have to put a campaign out there. Save Jeffrey. So until next week, guys, keep firing in your WordPress questions. Loving the interaction. Thank you very much. And if you need anything, you can contact us at wpbutler.com.au, and we'll see you real soon. Bye for now.